Got it. Boom. Okay, here we are. We're going to talk about modeling with functions. What is that? Well, that's how do I write an expression or an equation from a function? So we'll look at formulas, graphs, verbal descriptions, function from data, because we have to be able to make a function from, basically a verbal description. So if it's described to us, we can figure out what we're talking about. Let's look at a problem, a maximum value problem. The square of a side x inches is cut out of each corner of an 8 by 15 inch piece of cardboard. The sides are folded up to make an open top box. Okay, what is going on with this? Well, here's a piece of cardboard. We're going to cut here, 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 here. And then we're going to fold here, 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 here. And it's going to make a box that looks something like that. Okay? Capiche? All right. So it's 15 on this side and 8 on this side. We take off x on each side and x on each part here because x is the size of this corner we're cutting out. So on the inside, this is 15 minus 2x, and this is 8 minus 2x. So when we fold it up, this is 8 minus 2x, this is 15 minus 2x, and this is x. So how do we find the volume of it? Well, the volume is the length times width times height. So it's x, the height, times the length, 15 minus 2x, times the width, 8 minus 2x. Okay? So then we can graph the function, and then we can find the maximum on our grapher. So then we can figure out how big the squares should be that we cut out to make the maximum volume for the box. Isn't that cool? So they're showing it there, what I did before. Height of x, one side 8 minus 2x, the other 15 minus 2x. And so they graph it. So on your graphing calculator, you go second, trace, and go down to maximum. You go to the left of the maximum point, to the right of the maximum point, and then it'll find the maximum point for you at 1.66, repeating. So it's 1.67 or 1 2/3. Gives you the maximum volume of 90.74. Okay? How big should you cut out the squares? Well, each square should be 1 2/3 inches on each side. Okay? Let us now go into what we're going to be doing today, which is, boom, over here. Oh, you haven't reloaded yet. Or did you? Yeah, I just named this wrong. I typed a 6 where it should have been a 7. So backspace 7. There we are. At least I'm not like what I was in Trig the other day and taught the total wrong lesson. Okay. Now, we have some very easy stuff at the start. 2 more than 4 times a number. How would I write 2 more than 4 times a number? More than is? There we go. Thank you. Fell asleep because nobody would answer my question. 2 plus 4x. 2 more than 4 times a number. 8% of a number. When you're taking 8%, are you adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? No. It's dividing into smaller pieces, but officially, if you take 8% of something, of means to multiply. 0.08 times b, because that's 8% of b, taking 0.08 times b. Okay? The area of a rectangle whose length is 5 more than its width, x. Well, here's a rectangle. Its width is x. Its length is 5 more than x. Okay? To find the area, how would we write the area formula? Well, the area is length times width, x times x plus 5. Ta-da. A salary after a 33.5% increase when the original salary is X dollars. Okay, here's where a lot of people have a problem. Okay, now, let's say I make $50,000 as a teacher, and I'm going to get a 5% raise next year. If I take 0.05 times $50,000, that's $2,500, right? So am I going to make $2,500 next year? No, I'm going to make 50,000 plus the 2,500, or $52,500. Okay, so what you do is you take the original amount plus the amount times the increase, which is 0.035, or 1.035 times x. Okay, because this is 1x plus 0.035, x is 1.035x. Okay, so if you want your salary in the future, what is your salary? Because this is your raise, and this is your present salary. So if you add them together, you get your new salary. All right, the sale price of an item is marked at the sale price of an item marked X dollars is 40% if 40% is discounted from the market price. Okay? So, originally it was X dollars. If it's discounted 40%, how much is it worth compared to the original amount? How much percent? 60%. This is the way I would do it. I would say, what is it now? Not trying to take x minus 0.4x. Just write it as 0.6x. Okay? The total cost is $60,100 plus $4.75 for each item produced. Well, just to run the factory, it costs $60,100 plus $4.75 for everything produced. Okay. The revenue when each item sells for $2.73. So it's $2.73 times the number of items. Okay. All right. We already did 8. A traveler averages 60 miles an hour on a 1,140-mile trip. The number of hours spent. Well, distance equals rate times time. So time equals the distance divided by the rate, because we have to just divide by r on each side. So the distance is 1,140. The rate is 60. Divide, and you get an answer. Phone antennas. Cell phone antennas grew from this amount to this amount. What was the increase over that year? Okay, to find the increase, do you take this divided by this? No. You take the difference. So you take 21,283 divided by, or minus 197,488. And you're going to divide that by what? The new or the original to find the percent of increase? Are you going to divide that by the new number or the original number? Original. To find percent increase, you always have to divide by the original. So you subtract to find the difference, divided by the original. The perimeter of this college athletic field is 104 meters, and the length is 12 more than the width. So if the width is W, the length is W plus 12. Okay, find the length and width. Well, perimeter equals the distance around. So the length is W plus 12, the width is W, so there are 2 W's plus 2 W plus 12's. Okay, so 104 equals, if we distribute, 4W plus 24. So if we subtract 24 from each side, 4W equals 80, W equals 20. The width is 20, the length is 12 more than that, which is 32. If we add these up, that's 52. Take it times 2, that's 104. Makes sense. A mother wants to invest $12,000 for her son's future education. She invests a portion of the money in a CD that earns 4% and a savings bond that earns 7%. Total interest after 1 year is $720. How much money was invested in the CD? Well, let's make the CD X and the savings bond Y. So the X amount of money plus the Y amount of money equals $12,000. Now, 4% of the X amount plus 7% of the Y amount should earn the interest of $720. How do I solve this? Divide.
Like divide the percentages over and then X plus Y equals, so there.
Nah, because we got an X and a Y. There's 2 variables there. Can't just divide. 2 variables. What do we do to solve 2 variable equations? Could use the substitution method, or we could use the elimination method. Which one do you guys want to use? Elimination. Good call, Jackson. You're not Jackson. You're John. Good call, John. So if we multiply both sides of this equation by 0.04, and actually a negative 0.04, I get negative 0.04x plus negative 0.04y equals negative 0.04 times 12,000 is like 4,800 negative, right? Maybe? I don't know. Or is it 480? Negative 480. Thank you for coming to my rescue. Now the other equation we don't have to change. If we add the columns now, we get 0.03y equals 240. If I divide by 0.03, I think I get 8,000. So that means X must be 4,000 to make 12,000, right? So 8,000 in the savings bond, and the CD account, that would be $4,000. So that's the types of questions you'll have before lunch. Then after lunch, we'll review for the test we're having Thursday. We'd have the test Friday, but we don't have this class Friday. There's only 2 classes this week. So I guess we have to have this test Thursday. So here we go. I will put it out there for you, and then you guys can get going. Nikita? That's fine if you're not here tomorrow. You can take it whenever. You can take it Friday.